Good morning and welcome to today's live show. I'm ready for a good day. Let's just say that. I'm up, I'm ready for a great day. I'm ready to look at some stocks today because we got a lot of stuff going for us. First of all, we got that course that's only $100 for another, 4 days. So you got pretty much until the end of the weekend to grab that thing. So make sure to get it while you can, $100 before that price it doubles, right? So pay attention to that. But also, we have some weekly expected moves that look like they're getting tagged. So joining the Patreon is a very good day today as you do get those daily expected moves going on into tomorrow. So we have a lot going for us today. And what do we notice from the SPY? Well, pretty much opening up even. What can we pull over for today's data? Well, we can look at this before we do a little bit of a breakdown here and just say, hey, this looks like we're slowing down a little bit, doesn't it? Doesn't this look like we're slowing down a little bit? Okay, going down to 1.4 from 3.4. It seems like we're slowing down a little bit in this economy. Now, what's that going to mean? Are people going to take this as good for an inflation reading? Like, right, this is the type of number you want to see to fight inflation. But I don't think they realize that the slowing of the economy, if this starts to go negative, that does mean bad things for the stock market. So we'll pay attention to it. But right now, we're just looking at a 30-minute for the SPY. Looks like we could see some kind of breakdown on the 30-minute, curl down into this area, that 543.34. Remember, this is your daily expected moves, and this is a 68% zone. So this is as far down or as far up as the options market is pricing in for the entire day. Very small range, which kind of sucks because when you get a small range, usually you just see terrible volume, you just see sideways price, very boring usually. But we're gonna have some fun with it today. We have a lot of names that are moving back and forth, so maybe we can look at some stuff today and have some fun trying to stay live today as much as possible, honestly. 2 hour though, the main thing for the SPY, the 2 hour crosses up, okay, positivity, but maybe we want to do something like this, base out, then go higher. We'll have to find out. But for now, 2 hour crosses up, that would mean positivity coming in. Now, as you look over at the Qs, this has a tiny little range too. So it's a cute little range, but we can notice 2 hour curling up. That would mean, hey, positivity. This is why if that 2 hour curls up, we actually see some steam behind it. You can get outside these weekly expected moves. Remember, this is a 68% zone, but up here you have a 32% chance to see something crazy up here. So something could be brewing there if this 2 hour starts to curl up, but the only problem is if the 30-minute curls down, okay? The 30-minute curled down, curled right back up, right? So maybe at this point with that wonky behavior, you want to zoom out to an hourly and just say, hey, if that curls down, where are we heading? Well, if the hourly curls down here, I'm just going to tell you right now, we're most likely heading into the weekly expected move, and I'd be looking for any kind of reversal pattern from there, right? So we'll pay attention to that going forward, but for now, you would say that hourly curls over. Where is it? Negative territory, negative trend. Awesome. Pull down to lower levels. Apple, this was very interesting because we're at that weekly expected move. We're above it now with the pre-market behavior as well. That upward expected move based on the options data is telling us, hey, this is as high up as Apple's supposed to go. So is it going to see something crazy? The 2 hour did just curl up. And so this is where it's important to know how to utilize these weekly expected moves, because we could get a reaction up to here, dip down, and then see that scoop right back up, because this is the weekly expected move, and you do see crazy stuff outside of there, but 68% of the time you do land back within that zone, which is below where the price is at now. So be cautious. Usually we teach you to look for reversal signals up here. Are there reversal signals up here? Not necessarily. It just says like, hey, the 30-minute might need a pullback is overall what it says here, but that's just a maybe. It can remain like this for a little while. Hasn't crossed over yet. Tesla, this one here, outside of its weekly expected move, seeing something a little bit crazy outside of its weekly expected move right now. Really looks like it needs a 30-minute pullback, at least a 30-minute pullback. We can even come test the top side of that range and turn right back up, right? We can test the top of that range, turn right back up on this MACD, and that means more positivity. For now, this right here would say, hey, if I try to do anything here, one, it's not the best trade setup, and two, I'd be really chasing is what it really looks like. So as we look at a 2 hour, this looks like it might need a pullback as well. So I'd just be cautious with Tesla. They've used this a lot of times for traps. And I think someone was pointing out the head and shoulders, and I think I was looking at this right here, right? We see the left, the head, the right shoulder, a little bit of violation with these type of moves. But from this area, actually, where we're at right now is where I'm very interested, right in here. I feel like this is a gray area to pay attention, and we could actually be seeing this go up a little bit higher from this area. So If we do back up off here and then we break through, we actually can see more upside for Tesla. I was looking at this very carefully last night, but that's something I'm paying attention to. Amazon, this one here going higher again outside of its weekly expected move now. So you have a lot of stocks outside of their weekly expected moves. We posted this on Patreon just to warn you during market hours about this stuff. Just saying, you know, even if you're someone who only likes to go long, which I get it, the stock market mostly goes up. It's a great profit-taking tool for the week, and if you go a little bit higher, that's just a little bit extra for you. Let's look at Amazon on the 30-minute because the 2-hour looks like it needs a pullback. But the 30-minute here really needs a pullback, in my opinion. I really think that this needs to pull down to lower levels, kind of do this, and then curl back up. That would convince me, hey, more positivity is there for the overall move. NVIDIA, this one here, hey, it curled up on the 2-hour, so we have to talk positively about it just a little bit. Contrarian bullish signal right here, so we have to say it is bouncing, seeing that drop down right away in the morning. Interesting behavior there, but what can we notice from a 30-minute? This is rolled up, so we'll pay attention early this morning. If this is rolling down, it can go negative, and this could be a bad thing. But I'm kind of thinking the volume today will be crap, and we're going to see another full day of just wonky behavior from NVIDIA, unless something else happens, right? Because the volume is such crap in SPY and the Qs, I think we're going to get some cruddy, weird volume in NVIDIA where it just kind of chops back and forth, not doing anything dramatic, but hey, that could change and I'm down with it. 30-minute curled up? No, it didn't, okay, for AMD. So this here saying, hey, no reason for upside yet. According to the MACD, no reason for upside yet. And look at that, we're dropping down. So we also want to pay attention to a 2-hour. If that thing is able to curl up at any time, hey, positivity can be there. As of right now, it's pointing down in negative territory. So you'd have to say, hey, we could still test this low, even go make a new one. And I'd really be paying attention to that for AMD. Meta here, I just wanted to show you the 2-hour divergence, okay? Meta also at a weekly expected move. Now, if you guys remember Apple a couple weeks ago, what does it do? What did it do when it had a crazy move happen? Okay, what did it do? It went up to the weekly expected move, it piled up for a second, and then it went higher. You have to be aware that those type of things can happen. If you build up before a resistance and you break through, that breakthrough might be a little bit higher up. So we're paying attention to this. This looks like possibly, maybe this violated, maybe these violated it, but possibly just like a little handle here could be good. But if you start to confirm this divergence down here and go negative, that's not a good sign for Meta. So we'll pay attention as it is outside of its weekly expected move. And the 30-minute here, maybe we want to make some tiny little 30-minute divergence. The thing that's wonky about this 30-minute is it does not necessarily have an overbought reading, which is very interesting. So any kind of divergence we make here, I gotta be a little bit cautious with it. But for now, I'd mainly be paying attention to a 2-hour signal. I really would. I think this 2-hour signal is great to pay attention to because if this is going to create a handle, then I assume this does not confirm. If it does confirm, it doesn't go negative. I really think that. I think it wants to do something very, very quick if it's going to turn down on the 2-hour to remain higher. If it's not trying to remain higher, then that divergence is going to say, hey, we're flipping into a negative trend. And if the 2-hour has that divergence there, we just got to say, hey, look at the dollar or look at the daily. You're actually creating a double top divergence for the daily here. Not necessarily overbought though, so we'll take it with a grain of salt. Okay, looking over at AMC real quick. Well, what do we notice? It's kind of game time. You kind of need to start to build up from here. You really do, because we've said this a long time. You know, when everyone was saying, hey, the stock is dead, the stock is dead, the stock is dead, the stock's not dead until daily momentum really goes negative and remains negative, okay? So it's not dead, but it only has a few days left to really scoot back up. So we'll look at this. Right now, the 2-hour has curled up, and it's not in positive territory. So this is a contrarian signal as of right now. But the last time that we saw this in this type of area was right over here, right before a big gap up and some good price action there. So, but you see the importance of positive territory, right? So you have to get into positive territory to see these kinds of rips. If you're not, then you're just going to see some little dud and come back down. So on the 30-minute, the other option I think that is available here is to make another point of divergence. But you just notice how the tapering's really kind of changed here a few times. We tried to here, then we go right back down, then we try to here, now the angle's changing, okay? So this is the trend trying to change on the 30-minute. You see it going positive. Now I would just pay attention to if that 30-minute drops off, boom, we get some kind of stronger base, okay. But for now, you do have this higher low, so I don't think it's the worst looking move. I just want to make sure that this 2 hours is going positive. You want to see a squeeze? 536, you got to get above that. GME. Now this one here, seeing just a little bit more weakness actually than AMC. So the reason I like this one is because you have this like subtle little divergence right here, but it curls up. Okay, now we can go off to the races if it can go positive. It hasn't gone positive yet. So you're seeing some coiling up here on the 30-minute. You got to pay attention to this first thing in the morning. You need to be paying attention to this. And this is if this 30-minute can roll over. This 30-minute can roll over, you have a chance to go negative. Maybe you create a double bottom, a higher low, something like that. But you'd hope to hold a strong base. If you're able to hold a strong base, you're right by positive territory. And I'm going to say if that signal pops up, I think the moment will be coming. So the 30-minute able to go up from here, then that would just reject and we don't have to deal with any of that nonsense, right? That's it. But once again, just to reiterate, the daily scale needs to remain positive. If this starts to go negative, it means very, very bad things for the stock. Now, if that just flashes negative, goes right back to positive, awesome. But when you cross this center line, you have way higher probabilities of downward price action, okay? You cross the center line, your momentum is negative. That's the key thing here. Momentum here is still technically positive. So this just tells me, okay, you know, upsides could still happen if we find a base. But once it crosses that threshold, that zero line, then you go, okay, now this price action is negative, right? So the probabilities are that it will continue to head lower. Maybe we even go all the way back down into this area of $15. We'll see. I don't think that would happen. I think that the level of 20, we have too many institutions that are kind of buying and getting calls and stuff like that, but we'll see. The weird thing for me was the dollar dropping off dramatically. Okay, so the dollar dropping off dramatically here. And what's overall happening with the stock market right now? Well, the SPY is kind of sitting flat. So this could tell me there's buying happening right now. And this could also say something with volatility, because volatility popped on the 30-minute and is dropping again on the 30-minute. But like I said, we're outside of a lot of weekly expected moves. So when you start to see a lot of those weekly expected moves, some reversal signals by them, you really want to pay attention to volatility tapering one more time. You notice this downward move, then we go a little sideways, now we could go a little more sideways, and we might get a little triple divergence today that kind of tells you a hint like, hey, volatility is coming back into the market, okay? So just pay attention to volatility, 30-minute divergences. Now, if those don't complete, it's not saying they have to happen. They have to form and they have to complete. So that's very important to pay attention to. TLT also getting a small bounce with today's data. This actually makes sense finally. So some of the data we were getting, it didn't really make sense why yields were popping to me. And now this makes sense though. The 10-year yield dropping off makes total sense because lower GDP. So the last thing was gold. Okay, I did show this setup, which is very interesting. Okay, I did show this setup on my channel. And look at the rigged move down and the rigged move right back up. This, I mean, well, you would say rigged. This is gold. We'll see what's happening with it. But I really like this base. And then we saw this random drop off. And I was just like, man, that looked like such a good base. Like, this is something that I posted to Patreon. I took it off just so people weren't confused with the price action because of the gap down. But this never confirmed. So what's up? All right. Good morning, guys, by the way. Good morning, good morning. Make sure to like the stream as you guys come in. So apparently they are, our floor had some problems, so they're replacing our whole floor, and they just called us and said, like, it's right now. But they're not replacing the floor in my office. They're just replacing the floor above us. So I'll see how loud it's going to be, but I might have to just put you guys and let you guys watch some stocks by yourself for a little bit here. Put you guys over on the SPY or something like that because I got to go move stuff. So I will be right back. Give me about maybe 10 to 15 minutes and I'll be right back. Hopefully I'll be back by the open, okay? Just give me a second. Damn, that was out of nowhere. Like fuck. All right. Well, good morning. Good opportunity to like, share the stream with a friend. Why don't you share the stream with a friend? Like, talk about something in there. What are your guys' plays for the day? I'm gonna chug some of this. I gotta go move some heavy couches, but I'll be back before the open. I'll try to be back right before, or at least like 5 minutes before the open. All right. Like the stream, please, please, for the love of jeez. All right. Oh God. Wish I could play some tunes. I need to find a free one. All right, guys, what happened? I didn't get scared off. They're replacing the carpet upstairs. We're getting new carpet, so I had to go move everything out of the room. That's so annoying, but we're back. Oh my god, guys, I'm so freaking tired. What the hell happened? Meta rocket ship. All right, outside the weekly expected. I didn't expect that today. Okay, SPY, what are we doing here? 30-minute, going positive, 2 hour, looks like it wants to curl up. Remember, we got to get above this line to see something crazy. Qs, looks like it's already hitting that daily expected move. Trying to cross up on that bar, so we'll pay attention to that. Apple, hey, going back outside of that weekly expected move, so we'll pay attention to this as well. Tesla started to drop off. So Tesla was the one that was pretty much, it's pretty far outside of its expected move. That's why this is the one that I'm like, that could see a significant pullback. NVIDIA dropping off a little bit today. What else? Anything else? Meta is the main interesting one here. Still have it. Luke trusts his fan base. I trust you guys were all looking at the right stocks, and someone in here was talking about, you know, positive and negative trends for me and divergences. Someone was there doing it for me. You guys, Meta will go to 535. I can't really see it too much here. You're almost seeing something similar to here, just spread out a little bit more. We'll see, but your percentages, your probabilities are more with you to see downside from here. But 535 is possible maybe going into next week. Let's talk behind his back. You can talk behind my back. That's cool with me. I don't give a fuck. SMCI started to turn up. We'll see if that 2 hour can turn up. But mainly, I think it's the Qs right now. I think the Qs are very important to watch. See if that resistance comes in. This is why we pay attention to daily expected moves too. Look where it starts to see that resistance. Very good. Now you have to break through that to see something crazy. Kind of like Meta just showed you. It did something crazy for a bit there. I think this is just the real thing to pay attention to here. I think if this 2 hour is able to cross and hold, that's the key thing, like hold, not see any resistance come in. I think 552, 553 makes sense. The Qs are trying to do it right now, so maybe the Qs are the one to watch for the next few minutes here. Don't tell him I said he's nice. Hey, at least 100, at least a bunch of people stuck around. Thank you guys for liking the video, so more people were in here. I know that I'm usually very attentive at the open at least, but for today I got apparently I'm getting my whole carpet replaced today, so I had to go move everything, and I just have these big expensive couches now. They were on sale actually, half price. And I actually used to market for a furniture store, so I know when a product is actually half price and when they're just saying it's half price. You know what I mean? AMC 470. Let's go look at those real quick. AMC, seeing this pop up. Hey, 2 hours still crossed. I think the 4 hour crossing next would be great, but for now, you see these 4 hours aren't crossed, and we'll see if these 30 minutes, that was the big thing, right? 30-minute, was that able to roll over? It wasn't able to roll over yet, so very interesting behavior here from GME. Looking pretty good, actually. I mean, this just looks like flagging to me at this point. Most likely you're getting 15-minute down by the center line. Okay, see that curl up, that'd be a good thing, but you can kind of see the flagging. With the closings here. Ooh, okay. Chill out, chill out, GameStop. Chill out, dude. Yeah, the couches are heavy and they don't last as long. But thankfully, I know enough about brands and I know what to look for, but it's pretty much like manufactured wood is like pretty much like if you're not getting something from maybe like Ashley's or something and it's manufactured wood, then it's probably just going to be real shitty, because Ashley's is one of the only companies that like still does their own manufacturing of wood. All the other ones like fly them in. So I think it's like 99% of the manufactured wood business is like not done by furniture companies at all anymore, except for Ashley's. So Ashley's does have some decent manufactured wood, but that's the lighter stuff. I got the heavy stuff, which is pretty good. I mean, like, I really like it. I got nice stuff all around because my buddy works at a furniture shop, so he gave me a good deal. Next time I buy fake news sales, yeah. So what you can do a lot of the time is, one, you can see how heavy the piece is first off. So, and then you want to look at like MSRP on their website. So you can look at MSRP on their website and see how expensive something is actually through the website, and if that furniture store is doing like a like they're just trying to get rid of inventory or something to bring something new out. Those are more the deals you want to look for. So this couch was, they're getting a new product of the same company and they just wanted to get rid of these. So I said, okay, cool. I'll buy it was like probably like a $2,800 couch. It was probably like I think it was $2,500 couch and a like $500 chair. I think I got it for, I want to say I got it for 1,200 total. I fell for the pump and dump. Oh God, what is it? LIDR? Oh no. I'm scared. I'm so scared. Oh God. No, it's not that bad. 2 hour hasn't even curled over yet. Oh God. You see the divergence here though. Very cool. Very cool. Right here, never turned back over on the 2 hour. Boom. Nice solid move there. Ooh, rejection though. Interesting. Oh God, that's the pump and dump though. My goodness. 2 hour divergences matter, man. You see multiple point, 1, 2. This point right here said no more upside. Right here said no more upside. Then we saw this curl up and it said, okay, upside. Then right here it said definitely no upside. And now we've pulled down ever since. So if you're following the signals here, they kind of told you, hey, be careful. Now down here at the lows, they're actually giving you some 2 hour divergences actually. So not really here. You get the rejection. So if this starts to close back above here, I'd say 220. This thing could go for a run actually. Whoa, AMC actually moving up for once. That's strange, isn't it? Yeah, gold. Gold is what I was talking about. Gold looked like the great setup. It really looked like a great setup right here. One that I was posting to Patreon, and then I said, hey, but make sure that confirms, and it never confirmed. You see that? So I'm always very cautious in posting these type of things, just because I know they can go the wrong way, because if people start to front run, that's why I say don't front run stuff, especially when it looks like a flag, right? Don't front run stuff, because this here never confirmed the divergence. Boom, we drop off. Now we're heading back up. It's almost like this actually does matter. Very interesting, but gold's just been gapping back and forth. I don't think it knows what it's doing, to be totally honest. But we want to see if there's anything here. Well, the 2 hour curling up would be an overall good signal, but that's a big rapid move again. So all these gaps are just causing the RSI and MACD not to look proper. Tesla, this is the main one that I thought, this is the one that retail likes to trade. This is the one that I thought, hey, it's outside of its weekly expected move. It's well outside of it. So I thought this one would drop off for at least a 30-minute pullback. Foresight pullback to 189, 185. Yeah, I think what might go on here, there's kind of two things that you could look at, which is, hey, weekly expected move. Okay, do we use that to head higher? Or do we just collapse through that and then turn up later on and hit something like a 200? We'll have to see. But as of right now, the 30-minute needs a pullback. The 2 hour needs a pullback as well. So you could see a more dramatic pullback too, because really Tesla's been ripping back and forth. Are we about to hit $5? Maybe. Let's not jinx it, guys. God. You at least want to see, like, make yourself feel good by looking at the higher time frame, seeing that thing cross up, make yourself feel good for a second. GameStop still positive, not showing any real negativity here yet for the 2 hour. We haven't had that crossover yet, so the negative trend won't continue as long as this remains crossed. You do kind of have like a 30-minute that's probably looking like a pullback now, but that thing never got really overextended. So it'll be interesting to see. As of right now, I bet the 15-minute, guess what? Hey, it's getting close to the center line. That curls up. Awesome. But I think the 30-minute just bursting through this little flagging here could go to higher levels. AMC doing pretty good here. I would really like to see AMC just get above 536. Then I could be very, very happy about that, because then you have a chance of a squeeze. But if it's just below 536, I'm not expecting anything crazy. This is good buying, though. They're letting buying hit the tape for once, or the selling has ran out of liquidity. We'll have to see if this affects NVIDIA in any way. Look at that, NVIDIA coming down. So this is one where now it's more clear on the hourly. And I think if you see some downside here, we could see some kind of hourly divergence if this starts to pull down. I think that's a very good likely scenario at this point. Oh, you're finding the tickers? AMD. See, Meta, you have some risk here that selling just starts, because this is an unexpected move. So outside, the reason that you pull back down into the expected area is because taking a profit. It's like if the options, if Wall Street, if the options market didn't expect us to go this high and now they did, they might say, ooh, that's a good amount of money, and then pull this thing down. So I'd be very cautious with Meta and Tesla. Those look like the two that will see some pain. And then Amazon as well. It's like Amazon is what? Apple, Amazon, even so it's Apple, Tesla, Amazon, Meta, and I believe it's Google. All of these are trading now outside of their ranges. So all of those should be very, very cautious with. Weirdly enough, NVIDIA is not outside of its range, and it's kind of flagging up here. So you need to see if this hourly confirms down. We got calls on AMC that expire next Friday. Hey, good luck to you. 30-minute about to cross down. Well, it's up to you. I mean, so this is a bullish trend. So the downside could be very limited here, okay? The downside could be very limited. You could hold up at like 192. But what you're looking for here is more so it's better to see it pull back, right? See it pull back in this environment and then curl back up. Since you've already seen a big positive move, you know you're in a positive trend. Look at this little pullback here. Awesome trigger. And then we go, right? So this is more what you want to see, or even this down here is what you want to see. We see a big move up, right? We see a big move up. We kind of come down a little bit, and then we curl right back up into positive territory. Boom. Good move there, boom, good move there. So you're kind of looking for the same thing around this area. But how the SPY and the Qs look, I'm kind of like, oh no, this doesn't look too pretty. Like, it really doesn't look too pretty across the board for the entire market. So if we look at the daily scale here, that has crossed the SPY, the daily scale here, I believe that's crossed as well. So a lot of these are like, ooh, this could all just be flagging. We could see some kind of rapid downward move. So am I going to be like, I'm still kind of sitting on my hands, not trying to trade too much. I'm just using like small sizes. It'll get that. But like overall, I'm like, hey, if I just like make enough money every single week to pay for the options for the next month for AMC or something, I'll always have an option play. Yeah, see, this is where the 2 hour is crossing up, but remember I told you the probabilities of a lower high here is higher than going up to the next high, just because of where that weekly range is. You're kind of right on it right now. So what would you like to be seeing from Apple if it's going to see something crazy? Well, we'd probably need the 30-minute to base out a little bit. Same with Microsoft. Kind of like this, kind of like this. If you want to see something crazy, you at least need to do this, right? You at least need to pile up in that area, then head higher. So did Apple do that? It tried to a little bit. It probably needed to do it a little more, and then it could have bursted through. But because it didn't do it that much, now you're seeing things start to pull down. NVIDIA starting to drop pretty dramatically here, about to cross over on a 30 minute, so we'll see what's going to happen with that. Wish I got that dip. Did GitLab have a dip? Whoa! There's the 2-hour divergence. Yep, there it is. 2-hour divergence. See how steep that is? This is when it's very significant, very, very good trade. Boom, right there. Okay, so boom right here at $43. Says, hey, high potential for reversal and trend. I'm very close to the center line. Boom, good move. Pretty solid. Microsoft hitting the upward side of the channel here. I bet if we switch this to an hourly, it might look like some divergences. Yeah, you got divergences all across this now. So Microsoft not looking the prettiest. While AMC and GME kind of pop up a little bit. Interesting. Well, that's kind of the point. It's like the higher up these stocks go, the less stocks that are like above their 50-day moving average. Okay, cool. Now you just say, okay, so this thing is eventually the debt will be sucked out of all this stuff, and you have banks who are failing their stress tests and all kinds of things like that. So banks are going to be important. Now XLF though, financials look like it might be catching up bid soon, really. You see the bottoms here, you got the 2-hour divergence here for the big move. Okay, now we're kind of retesting an area. Maybe we're setting up some kind of, wonky left head, right shoulder, see if that's able to build back. Well, what's happening in this overall move is the 2 hours by the center line. Look at the 2-hour divergence down here. Looks very, very good. Boom, pops up right on this bar here. And at 40.80, now you're all the way up at 41.83. So solid thing there. We just want to look in the near term for the 30 minutes to give us any kind of signal of some kind of basing out, because you're not really getting that. So this would be the first sign. Maybe a tiny little thing like this would be the first sign that we could see this recover and turn back up. But we'll see. We might need to drag this out for a little bit longer and make a stronger base, because this just went like this and then like this. So usually you want to go like maybe it's with the wick, and then down here we want to flatten out, or we want to flatten out like this. So the Dow looking like it wants to roll down. Volatility did roll down. Okay, so this is kind of the signal I was looking for. Okay, this is the signal I'm looking for. Now if this confirms upward, that is going to be volatility possibly going into a positive trend, right? See how close it is to the center line? So anytime now, if we start to see some downward pressure, that would be interesting. And maybe we see something crazy to the downside. But for now, the Qs, hey, they hit the upward expected move. That's what we should expect, right? We shouldn't expect more than what the options market expects, right? Because that's how they trick people. People think, oh, this thing's going to go up to 1 million now, but we have this range right here. We know that all those stocks that are causing this to go higher, they're all hitting upward expected moves. So in order to really see the Qs go crazy, you got to see like 4 different stocks do something absolutely crazy all at the same time. That's kind of like very little likelihood of that actually happening. Sure, you could see a 1 or 2, like maybe Meta or something like that. But Meta, Amazon maybe, but to see it across the board, especially with NVIDIA falling a little bit here, would be very interesting, I'll say that. Yeah, 15-minute, you don't even really have divergence. You have divergence here for the little pull down, now you go up, so it never crossed negative, that's a key thing. Are you tooting? Christine, are you tooting? Why? Did something happen? Did something happen? Call 911. I'm like, what? Don't say that. That scares me. You make me want to go check on my girls upstairs. Abuela's here to help too. Very nice of her. Might turn on some tunes actually. Light tunes. So if this, by the way, if this is like, you know, the moment where we see this thing just pop off, the last time I tested it, once it made the big move, the 30-minute didn't cross over until we were at extremely high levels. And then we actually made a divergence at the high. How would we help him if something happened? Palantir? Yeah, let's go look at Palantir as well. Good move from Palantir. It kind of said like downside, and then that just turned right back up. So at this point you have some kind of trend in here. You can kind of see it. There's your trend. You're kind of worried about this. But 2 hour curls up, hey, good positivity there. So you see how the 2 hours by the center line, this is kind of your swing trader would do something like this. They see this type of bar. If this completes, they'd be in on this thing. Burn for eternity. Oh yeah, PayPal. I saw someone looking at that too. Yeah, that just looks like 2 hour curling up. Looks pretty good. Ooh, PayPal. PayPal's starting to look decent, man. I'm not gonna lie. This is what I look for. You got support across the way. You have liquidity across the way. You have a 2 hour divergence forming. Damn. What I'd like to see now is, I'd even treat this like, hey, the 2 hour looks like it could curl up at any time and give me that divergence. I'd even treat it like, hey, maybe this is the only bounce you need because you do have divergence all the way across. So when I trade these type of things, I'd look for my range and be like, if this is outside of the range by any means, okay, it pops up. That's going to be my first like small scale in. And then if a move happens, awesome. But then if it does something like this, then I just get another scale-in opportunity in the future. So I like PayPal here, actually. I think that looks like a decent view. You gotta wait till this completes, though, for the most part. At least some kind of reason, like 30-minute or something. These are still going, huh? Still need this to break to the upside, though. Oh yeah, Tesla's overextended at these levels. That's why I tried to make that pretty obvious here. But you can see something crazy. It's not to say you can't. But by all means, like, this is like you know, you have, and there's still a potential for it to go up, right? There's still potential, right? There's still a probability. It's just most of the probabilities lean towards this, just because you're way outside of that 68% zone. You're pretty much way outside of it at this point. You need to go back below here. So I'm not saying this move isn't justified. I'm saying this is where we normally would see some kind of pullback, and then we can curl back up, maybe create some kind of structure next week. We'll see. Sorry, got so stressed out, paranoid. Ooh. So I'm not the biggest fan of this type of look, but this would be like cup and handle type behavior here. So 30-minute, the only reason I'm not a fan of it right now is because of the divergence. Now that could just be violated and keep going. But if this starts to turn over, I'd be a little bit cautious here. The 2 hour. See how the 2 hour hasn't pulled back in a long time? It looks like the 2 hour is going to see some kind of pullback here. And then if there's more positivity, that 2 hour will curl back up. But that's just my take. Obviously, there is still a cup and handle setup here, so this hasn't confirmed yet. But I more likely would lean towards, hey, this is starting to taper to the upside, right? And now we're seeing the downward angle. We have triple divergence across the way. We have quadruple divergence across the RSI from all these points. The RSI is saying weakness. So that could flip you over into a negative trend. But to say like this can't do this and go higher, it can. It's just, I'd be saying, is this a great opportunity for me right now? 2 hour pullback, maybe it is. TSM's the biggest bag. What the fuck? My whole computer just glitched. Also, if the stream randomly turns off, I'm sorry, but they are replacing the carpet. They might unplug some shit. We'll see how it goes. It's gonna be a sketchy day. So west side of the project state of mind. I mean, this just, that kind of looks like the NVIDIA chart, honestly. So the hourly curls over, bad news. Let's see, did the 2 hour curl up though? So the 2 hour is curling up now. So if this holds for an hour and a half, this would tell a swing trader, hey, this is your moment, right? This is a swing trader's awesome buy, right? Now, there's always potential for needing more structure, obviously, right? Like right over here. You see this right over here. We try to curl up right here, and then we need a little bit more structure, dip down, and then we curl back up. So if this wanted to, it could curl down and get that higher low. It really could. So you'd probably pay attention to 30-minute. Just see this thing start to get a little overbought. Okay, then that curls down, creates that higher low. But for now, you would also say hourly rolls down. That's not a good sign. NVIDIA. AMC and GME, I see they just dropped off a little bit. Microsoft, I hate this look from Microsoft. I really just don't like it. I think it just looks like, it looks like a squeeze, doesn't it? It looks like a squeeze, and it looks like that squeeze might end soon. Bought crypto, thought markets only go up. Let's go look at Bitcoin real quick. Hey, that's finally you get a higher low. You got a higher low, and it's close to going positive actually. So Bitcoin actually, this is the first time in a long time that you see how the 2 hours been just negative this whole time, negative, negative, negative. This is the first time it's saying like, hey, I could try for it. But the 4 hours really far away. Really far away, man. But 2 hours, hey, they like to go up. When they go across that center line, they like to go up, don't they? SMCI with a pretty decent move there. That'd be weird if this like crossed up and crossed right back down. So most of the probabilities here still say bounce for the 2 hour. 2 hours stronger, so you follow that first. 30-minute, you know, I know that's looking wonky, so maybe we want to look at an hourly. If that hourly crosses over, okay, we go make a divergence most likely. Or something bad could happen. But from here, you know, with the timing of the week, actually the timing of the week is Thursday. We could just see a dramatic drop, but we could also see dramatic pop because the 2 hours telling you, hey, there's some kind of bounce happening right now. Made 150 on my snow calls. Nice job. Let's go look at snow. Hey, there you go. 2 hour divergences all across this bad boy. 4 hour rejection. Solid though. Little divergences in here for scale-ins. Very, very good. Very close to the center line. Like this is what you want to look for. See if the daily's able to rotate up. Daily did rotate up. Okay, awesome. It has divergence down there as well. So this box up here could be good. Obviously, make those ranges. Make sure you know how high or low a stock is expected to go. It will really help you out. I think it just depends. I think it just depends. I mean, MU giving out this earnings or whatever, it's like, it's kind of just whatever the narrative they want to go for is what I think they're going to convince. It's just whatever institutions decide to do after an earnings is pretty much what's going to happen, right? It's whatever the market makers want to happen after an earnings, so it's probably going to happen. And they're magically leveraged in the right direction. So to say like, will this give a hint to NVIDIA? They could try to trick you and you believe that, and then the numbers come out and they just say it's good news for whatever reason, even if they have red numbers, and boom, NVIDIA goes up. So now, do I believe the revenues of these companies are even real? Not necessarily. Like NVIDIA especially, I think its revenue is not keeping up with a $3 trillion company, and then also I think its revenues for the most part are manufactured in some way. But congratulations. Confirmation on the Microsoft? No real confirmation yet, but I believe that's outside of a weekly expected move at this point. Because Microsoft was one of the ones that wasn't outside of its weekly expected move. No, it still has a little bit higher to go for Microsoft to get to that weekly expected move. You can go as high as 460 here. Does the momentum look great? No, it really doesn't. Not even on a 15, but 30-minute, it just doesn't look great. But you notice it hasn't looked great for a long time, so you can't like just try to short at any time. These are very difficult to find the tops in. They're very, very difficult, but you can see how we're stretching it out. We're just stretching it out and stretching it out. And now it's kind of funky to see AMC and GME start to pop, actually. It genuinely is. It's with a few. I thought you knew. Now Google, that's maybe a different story. Yeah, Google 15-minute triple divergence here. This is at a weekly expected move. That's why it's great to pay attention to it. Google outside of its weekly expected move, giving you a signal that the 2-hour needs to pull back. That is what is being said here. What's the put call ratio? Still low, damn. We've just been low for a while, so I'm paying close attention to this, man. See this? We'll see what happens, but if this starts to turn around, I'm kind of sketched out by this overall move. Q is going up to test that level one more time. Let's see what happens. I had some help. All right, I'm gonna eat. Yeah, we went to Mickey D's, so we can't use our kitchen. My couches are in my kitchen now. Which also, that'd be chill. Let me eat this fake processed food. But I'm thankful for it, I will say that. So the thing is, Rivian's going higher because of like the Volkswagen thing, right? So, wasn't Volkswagen the company that was caught like faking their safety tests and like faking their engine tests for gas and stuff like that? I do like Rivian, by the way. I'm not saying I don't. I've seen these cars. Pretty sick. "30-minute pullback for now." The only reason I'm sketched out by the Rivian move is because a lot of people had funky options. Okay, someone knew about it. Yeah, the emissions tests were fake. With my Japanese, you want Japanese mayo and hash browns? Man, guys, economy's slowing. That's really bad for growth. Stocks go up. Inflation's going down, so if inflation goes down and we go into deflation, that means assets start to lose value, but we're not going to pay attention to that. Yeah, Marina, that'd be interesting because they're very innovative. They're trying to do the next thing all the time. Have you seen, like, even Elon Musk tweeting like he might make cell phones? I'm down. I'd look into it. Yeah, there was buying coming in, so Yeah, Sloth. Okay, so weekly expected moves aren't 100% thing, right? It's not 100% thing. What it is it tells you this is what the options market would expect, right? Something like this. All right, so this means we have a 68% chance to land in here, but we have a 32% chance to see something crazy. Now, if you're going to see something crazy, this could be one thing. This could be this, and then you don't see reversal momentum pattern, right? So then you would say people are going to take profit if you expect this to go down, or we're going to reverse in the trend. But people could take profit to bring this down. But if the move is very expected and it causes buying to beget more buying, to go into more buying, to more buying, then you can see something crazy. The example of this was last week, Apple, or it was over here. Apple way over here. It did this, right? This was the weekly expected move. It did this. That was unexpected. So notice you see a ton more buying come in. That can happen outside of these moves. That's why you don't necessarily just want to say like, oh, we went up to the move, now I short, things go down. That's not how it works. You needed to see Apple go like, maybe just violate through it, come back, go again, and then you see some kind of divergence outside of that weekly expected move. Then you get the chance for the drop, right? And that trend can reverse. That's the overall thing there. But if you're going to go based on that strategy alone, and you're expecting big moves with these reversals, you're in a bullish market. You're in the wrong market to look for a big bullish move. You want to take profit a little earlier. That's all that means. So you see this, like this is different from Meta, right? See how this is different from Meta? Apple went outside of its weekly expected move again. What happened outside of the weekly expected move so far? Well, we saw the profit taking. Do you understand? So this time it was profit taking, so you didn't see that craziness happen. You ain't getting no sandwich, no whining. No whining. FFIE. Well, just FFIE. Oh, I did see that bounce. Okay, that's good. Now, oh yeah, this was because last week I was like, FFIE is going to be my fun play, and then it didn't go well again. But I only did a $30 option for fun. This right here was your signal for more upside, first of all. Now that upside's there, you have to see with the 2-hour divergence, if you start to rotate up a daily, guys, this guy can run. I'm just going to tell you right now. Once you get daily down by the center line with some room on the RSI, this thing can run. Has it confirmed yet? No. So you have to be patient, be careful with it. But this right here is saying crossing up on the MACD by positive territory, positive trend can continue. What do you do in a positive trend? Well, what do? We test the closing, or we test the high of the thicker part of the bar, right? Is what I would say in this scenario. Maybe test this open, or go a little bit higher. So if this daily crosses up, FFIE can catch a bid. You just want to be very careful with the stocks that are being short sold. And Tesla's doing kind of a similar thing. You know, we talked about Meta a second ago. It kind of has the two things happening at the same time, right? Weekly expected move. We see a little run up, and then we're seeing these wicks where it's kind of like profit taking is coming in. So Meta is one of the most manipulated stocks, by the way. It really is. You can tell just from like zooming out. Like if you just go to Meta and you go like this, like look at this. That's like the deepest any stock in the 2022 like bear cycle, crash cycle went. Look, it went below 2020 levels. So now they say, oh yeah, let's send this bad boy higher. And it just keeps going. Has Meta really done life-changing things since right over here? No, it just hasn't. So I think this one is highly, highly manipulated to the upside. A simple 2-hour divergence would be all we need. A little just live. I was up. Meta or Amazon just going. So see, this is one of the crazy ones. This is what you got to watch out for. This is why you really want confirmation of like reversal signals up in these areas, because you can see crazy moves outside of them. It's just crazy to me that the Qs, even with all those crazy moves, is just going to that daily expected move. That's pretty wild. Wonder if it just like holds there. Oof. Oh, wow. Okay, hold on. 188. Wow. That's crazy. AMD looks like it might curl up on a 2-hour. Microsoft still has some room. Keep digging deeper till I... Netflix looked like it might see some kind of turn up as well if we look at this on a 2-hour. Now 30-minute looks like it needs a pullback, but look at the 2-hour just crossing. So everything, like you notice we're going above a lot of trend lines here, like random trend lines I have across. Everything is just blow off topping. A lot of these big stocks just blow off topping. But notice IWM is struggling. So I'm guessing that a lot of the stocks in the market are just, I think the whole stock market is held up by pretty much the stocks that we see on the right side of my screen. But you notice we're seeing weakness in the Qs and things like that. It's just because NVIDIA's down while everything else is up. That's why you're seeing weakness here. You're not able to like really scream higher yet. Now, if NVIDIA could catch a bid again, then I think we'd see major upside there. 2 hours still cross for AMC, 2 hours still cross for GME, 30 minutes. 30 minutes still cross for GME, very good. Rejection right there, so interesting. AMC, no crossover yet either, so still good things for GME and AMC. This is a difference than what we've seen lately, isn't it? Oh, you're so fucking fag. Oh my god, if they bark the whole time, I have to get off because I can't take it. But we're good. We're good. Sorry if that bark scared you a little bit. Arm. Ooh, fake go. That is a lower high if I've ever seen one. Apple's the one that really looks like it wants to confirm this as a lower high. I mean, Costco could benefit their business just from like converting a lot of things that would be like inventory and things like that probably to AI or customer behavior AI, like reading what people are buying at what times. It'd be good for inventory. It's hard to work when they're placing the floors up there. Yeah, so if the stream randomly turns off, they probably accidentally unplugged my internet. So Lucid. Yeah. Let's go look at Lucid then. Well, there's your divergence down here for the bounce. Great little divergence there. 250, 267, not bad. Now you want to see if that daily is able to roll back up. Daily not able to roll up yet. You are getting a slightly higher low from the previous, okay? But notice the divergence here. This is what I really like to see. Look at this. I don't want them scaring people. What was that? I was like, God damn it, Bruce. All right, so Lucid though, you see this, you need this daily to curl up, but I understand your thinking. It's just the 2 hour, you just got to be aware of that turning over. It's so close to the center line. Cisco. Oh, I think I said Costco. Cisco, 2 hour, pulling back. Awesome, that's fine. 30-minute, still not really giving anything here. Gave you the double top rejection divergence there, so you're switching into a negative trend. So you really need this 30-minute to go positive and see if that alone is enough to curl up this 2 hour for now. But you could see some kind of little 30-minute pop drop, and then this would happen. That would be probably a better look. Better base, that's all. I look for like good bases. Start a wick out. AMD, solid turn up here. See if that 2 hour can cross up. Meta, not really wicking out really on Meta there. Microsoft does have room to the upside still. Google, these things are getting cooked, man. Oh, GME, up 2.27% now. Very, very good. What you really need for GME as well is to see this daily turn up as well. You see it's right by the center line. This is why I said you only have a few days to really do this. Let's go over to, let me go to the Qs and I'm gonna finish eating this real quick. Like, I'm not hating on you, Hussein, but that's a very wild thought. Someone who highly, I would say, disagrees with the SEC and thinks they're not doing their job to go and pair up with them to help them in any way. I want that mayonnaise. You're gross. You guys, there's something simple I say a lot. The simplest answer is probably the right one. When it comes to Roaring Kitty, I think that holds true. What's the simplest answer here? I think he likes GameStop, and he's going to invest in it because he likes it, and I think he is aware of the short seller problem. Is he going to come out and talk about that problem? No, he doesn't want to get in trouble. But I think he knows if he just holds the stock can't go down far enough for them to make money. Am I gonna watch the debate? I'm thinking about it. I don't know, man. I heard they're gonna have like mic cutoffs and stuff, and like you can't interrupt the person. I'm just like, like and subscriber Bruce will keep barking. No, he's being good now. I gave him a bath yesterday. He smells nice. I actually would maybe disagree a little bit. The 2 hour for the Qs have crossed up. Now, the daily range is there, but if we just ignore the daily range, we would say, oh, the Q is crossing up positive territory. They're doing it before the SPY. That's why I think it's stronger. It's before the SPY. But to say this is like the wrong, like this isn't going to be as strong as the Qs, I think it'll be fine. It'll just probably go up to a weekly expected move if we see some confirmation here. I have 2K worth of GME, but now I'm paranoia speaking. Yeah. Like, the thing is, it's like it could happen in a year from now. You just don't know. They could give you some kind of fake pop, drop it down so you think like, oh, that was it. Maybe GME goes up to 150 and then just goes right back down and you're like, oh, that was it. And then 3 months later, around September, October, then we see the real thing happen and we see real weakness in the market. These are 2-hour charts. You have a lot of stuff that looks like it could turn up. Sheesh. I want to see if this 30-minute signal confirms, man. Look at this 30-minute signal. Look how clean that is. I might be taking a volatility play. I might take a volatility play because this looks too good. I'll see if that crosses, but it doesn't really match the SPY too much here, though. But look at that. That's great. Where's the 2-hour? Hey, it's close enough to the center line. I'll take it. Another higher low. My goodness. It looks pretty. Kind of flat divergences on the RSI, but call's still in there. Is anyone like me? Do you guys eat in a circle? Like if you get something, do you eat around it? I eat around it. I eat in a circle. Is that weird? Like, does that in some way mean I'm like a psychopath? Yeah. Volatility plays are kind of hard to, like, they're kind of scarier to hold in my opinion, but. When I first started trading volatility, I was so scared of it the whole time. Now that I've done it a lot, I'm like, yeah, it's chill. But when I first was trading volatility, I was like, damn, this is sketch. Not 205. I mean, you got head and shoulders maybe forming like this. Look at this. GME is still going. Go, go, Power Ranger. I think it could, but I think this one is actively being short sold against as well. I know it's seen a pop, right? There you go. Weirdly enough, the signals are telling you a 30-minute divergence here. And when did this move start? Was it here? Okay. So you're probably outside of a weekly expected move with this. And you have the divergence up here. And you have to think, if they want Trump to look bad, they're going to maybe force this stock down. So weirdly enough, this looks like a good downward play. Because you're like at that 200 as well. Down. See right here, down. Looks kind of good. Needs to confirm a little bit, but... John Piper, I wish it was just bullish all around. I mean, we can look at other stuff too. See, I would say this. I think it pushes down. right? With that 30-minute divergence that likes to roll over 2 hours, the best thing possible here is it goes like this with that downward push. That's a really dramatic move, but that would be great. And then we see this form. Then you see a divergence here. That would be awesome. I would probably start investing in the stock if that happened. You use the same things on volatility as far as the plays go, especially in the course. Like, use the same things. The only extra note you need is like you have to be seeing something in the SPY that shows like, hey, there could be weakness here, right? So what would that argument be right now? Well, that argument might be like, oh, it's showing a lower high, right? Maybe that's it. But you have to see like similar things in the SPY. That's why, like, the things you could come up with this week, you have to have another reason besides divergences on volatility, just because those pop up all the time. But I would more so say like, okay, because Apple's hitting its weekly, Tesla's hitting its weekly, Amazon's hitting its weekly, Meta's hitting its weekly, Microsoft's reaching up towards it, Google's outside of its weekly, volatility can come in, right? Because 68% zones, if all those stocks drop at the same time, it's not going to be a good thing. So I need to look at how the market is behaving, and then I go say, okay, the market's behaving funky. There's a lot of chances of drops. So what am I seeing on volatility? Do I see a trade setup at the same time? Oh, yes, I do. Now that doesn't look the best on the RSI though. So you'd really need this to turn around first. And like, at that point, I would play volatility, and volatility just going up does not mean the stock market has to go down. But as far as UVXY goes, volatility, I would follow that. I would do a further out position. And then with UVXY, I can just sit there and be like, okay, cool. I can scale in if I need to, but I need to see the SPY drop to make money if I'm doing UVXY. That was kind of greasy. What the fudge? Let me see what she's talking about real quick. Hold on. Dang it. That bums me out. We got a love them, they're great. We have a Spanish speaking people working on the floors, and we had questions to ask them, and like I'm trying to listen in, but my wife's talking to them in Spanish, and I'm like, damn it, I need to learn Spanish. Very nice though. I just can't understand anyone, which is kind of sad. I need to learn. Yeah, oh yeah, sorry. As far as Walgreens goes, by the way, this guy here, that's a terrible move. That's all you need to know about that guy. That is really fucking bad. That is absolute garbage. What's the best thing to do with this company now is, well, it never curled back up on a monthly scale. Maybe if that monthly curls up, we'll see some good things. You actually, weirdly enough, have a divergence here. That's funny. You have divergences all along this, but like at least the last time the monthly turned up right here, you saw a little bit of upside, but this is just a dangerous area. This would be like, you need to look at the company and see if they're able to bring things back, but there are companies that when they get down to these levels, people do buy them, right? It's kind of like the buy low, sell high thing, but am I seeing anything that would convince me of that? Well, I would like a monthly to turn up, because if the monthly turns up here, I can at least maybe see a reaction to the 50 or something. So do I have like a weekly divergence? Actually, weirdly enough, you have a weekly divergence right here. And you do have it straight across, so if it catches a bid, but I don't think that's gonna happen at this point. I think that's just really bad. They still pay dividends though. Wait, they still pay dividends every time? This might not be that bad of a company, actually. If they're still able to pay their dividends, that might not be that bad. I need to go put like a translator app up. I used to have I think to use everything that I use, I'm pretty sure you don't need to pay for anything. The only reason I pay for the basic package is to not see the ads. I'm going to be 100% honest about that. The only reason I pay like $15 a month for TradingView is so I don't have that ad pop up every single time that I log in. And sometimes they pop up that ad like every 20 minutes. So yeah, I am someone who gets annoyed by the little things. And anyone who knows me can attest. Like if I just hear a car honking for too long, for like 5 seconds, I'm just like, oh. That's why you'll see me react to the dogs barking, and I'm just like, what the hell? I believe you can have 3. I believe you can have 3, so it'd get your main ones, moving averages, MACD, RSI. I believe you have 3, but $15 a month to get all of them, pretty much. Like the funny thing about my strategy is, unless we're talking about swing trading, which we're gonna make that swing trading course because a lot of people want it. I've gotten emails about it, so I'll make like a little swing trading course, and maybe we'll throw crypto in there as well. But this here, these lines, like sure, they're pretty good to have if you're like swing trading, but technically if you're in a very volatile market, like if volatility is above 20, you don't even need those lines, to be totally honest. Like if I just turn these off, we can still look at this and know a lot. Like do those lines really help us out that much? Like with what we're doing even today? Well, like the answer is like volatility. Like are those lines really going to help us that much with volatility, or is it more so seeing the divergence? Is it more so seeing the divergence and seeing this pop up and saying, okay, volatility can be in here? You know what I mean? They do help on the daily scale. But if you're doing shorter time frames or even doing just monthly investments or something like that, you don't necessarily have to have it, but it is good to have. I would say it's good to have if you're going to be trading like swing trades. YouTube ads, yeah, I take so you don't need it, Audi dude, but I mean $15 a month, I would say try to get good at some strategies, right? Try to get really, really good at something and then making a money where $15 a month is nothing to you. And that's kind of how I treat it. $15 is just like, and I just pay. I'm like, I'd rather not see ads. YouTube, I pay for, or my brother pays for YouTube Premium and he got a second member. So he just gave me YouTube Premium for free, which is awesome. I hate YouTube ads, and I genuinely do, and I appreciate whenever you guys watch one on my video. I can't stand looking at ads. I was in marketing for years, and I read every single ad, and I'm like, this is bad because of this. It makes me think too much. I hate it. But you guys like watching the ads. I really appreciate it. That's, you know, how we make money on YouTube as much as I can. It's a couple $100 a month, but yeah, so like if you're trading these type of strategies though, do these lines really give you much? Like it can be another reason, right? Like let's say you're looking for multiple reasons to take a trade and you're like, okay, I need to take back at least, maybe one of your reasons is just like, I want to take back the 20 on the 30 minute. Okay, well, this crosses up. There's one reason. This has divergence. That's 2 reasons. Maybe your third reason is you see a strong move above the 20. That would be a good reason. Then the divergence here and the price action, the possible double bottom even coming in with the wick. Okay, that would be 3, 4 reasons right there. Then you would say, are we going into a level where volatility comes back in? Well, we are below 1212, so maybe that's another reason, right? You got to think of the actual reasons that you're coming up with for your strategy, but Write it off on taxes, yeah. I should actually. I'm gonna write off plenty of stuff. SPY, as far as it goes right now, the SPY, really paying attention to the 2-hour crossing up. That's gonna be your real indication. The Q's already trying to do it. 43 minutes left in the bar. Look at it unconfirming. You guys, this is why you gotta like chill and wait for the bar. If you want something crazy to happen, just know something crazy is already happening on the stocks that make up the Q's, except for NVIDIA pulling this down. So at this point, now those stocks can start to go back into their 68% zones. And what if this doesn't cross? Look at that. It's uncrossing right now. It's not crossed anymore. That's a bad, bad sign, actually. Now, that could just go like this and cross again in a second. But I'm just saying for this bar right here, it coming down is not a good sign for upside. It's a sign for maybe even a rejection, which is not good. Apple, look at that. Boom, came back down within the range. Tesla, look at this, trying to come back down in the range. Amazon, what's happening with this? Starting to wick out. What's another one that's in it? Meta starting to wick out. Okay, Google, not the biggest wick out there. And Microsoft, hey, came up to the trend line, starting to burst down. So a lot of them starting to go down, and then you have NVIDIA here on the hourly. Hold on one second. Okay, I thought they needed me for something. So as far as it goes, Tesla, you're just way outside of the range. You need some kind of pullback. I would say at least a 30-minute pullback, and it looks like that 30-minute pullback is about to come. Now, if you're going to continue to see something crazy here, you're probably not going to break back below that weekly expected move. You actually might use it to then head higher. So I'd be paying attention if this curls down, curls up at any time. That could mean the next positive move is coming. As of right now, it looks like it also needs a 2-hour pullback, though. So pay attention if we see a 30-minute divergence up there. That would be a great setup. But for now, the 2-hour looks like it even needs to pull back, probably down to 188. And then as far as SPY goes, though, 2-hour curls up, great news. But if that keeps fading and the 30-minute curls down, you're pretty close to negative territory, aren't you? So this divergence here, maybe that's all the bounce you get. Now you do have structure you could form in this area, right? We gapped below here. Now we go here. Now we grab liquidity and we actually head higher. That can happen. Like you see in this area, it's very tight. So you're building up a lot of liquidity right here. And then boom, you could see that move to the upside. But the 30-minute curling down, you'd say, hey, that can go negative until that turns right back around. We'll see. As far as it goes, though, the 2-hour confirming upside is overall what I'm looking for here. And I'm just noticing that all the things are outside of it and volatility, right? Volatility might scale up now. So that's what I said I was looking for this morning. Starting to prove, but it needs to actually confirm. Dollar really dropped off here, but all those big upward moves, that makes sense. NVIDIA. The struggle is real. You're welcome, Tiffany. Thank you for saying thank you. Did anyone catch my video last night when I was like, okay? I accidentally said, okay. Okay. Am I crazy to think that this looks pretty even? There you go. You're kind of in a flag. I literally just was like talking and I accidentally said okay, and then I went okay. I was like so serious trying to get through it. My time has been so limited. I'm sorry that if are my YouTube videos too fast now? I know I'm doing them in one shot, but I literally am trying to like make up another 30 minutes of my day. Because it's like if I can make up that 30 minutes, I actually get time to like watch a show at the end of the night with my wifey. Okay, Mr. Maikai. Alright, class. Today we're going to be learning about transgenderism. It's all good info. No, they're good, man. You already do a lot. Okay, so if the YouTube videos are fine paced, I could do a demo for Netflix. I have a ton of little voices. Ohana means family. Family means no one gets left behind. I'm a weirdo, guys. If you didn't know already, I'm very fucking weird. And I love it. Oh, look at the rejection happening. That's not good. Good thing we have daily ranges, am I right? No, she does not. She thinks I'm a nerd. I was bullied and had to switch schools and had memory suppression. I had suppressed memory until I was like 22. And I didn't even know I was bullied until I was 22 years old because I just had no memories of like really of my childhood too much of like school. And then they all came flooding back. And then when I met her, she laughed about it because she was a bully. She was a bully in grade school and in middle school, and that's when I was bullied really hard. EMA 20. I really like the 20. I haven't tried. I mean, RSI. I think I keep this on 14. I still like 14. Personally, I haven't tried it on 9. Maybe I'll look into it, see what it looks like over the weekend, but. No, my abuela just thinks it's funny whenever I talk in Spanish. Bruce is licking me and it's hitting the table if I'm shaking in the camera. Bruce. 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 Okay, good. I'm glad you guys like the one shot and you're able to follow it. And you can always pause in between stocks and stuff like that. You know, I know you can watch on slower mode, whatever the hell it is. So I talk a little slower and things like that. But I'm just trying to, the hard part about doing it in one shot is I review all the stocks before normally when I film. And then I know what I'm going to talk about that stock. But when I was doing cuts and, you know, not editing, or I was editing, I'm able to like look at the stock again before I talk about it. Now I'm having to like remember what I said. So, or remember what I like looked at from 10 minutes ago, say. So it's a little bit more difficult, but I don't think I've slipped up like once yet. And it saves you guys a little bit. Like when I do it in one shot, it's very efficient. So like all the videos, and like you're probably not going to see another video at like 35 minutes or something like that. It makes it efficient. I try to think of your guys' time as well. I don't want you guys sitting up watching YouTube all night. I want you guys hanging with your family, going out to dinner, doing nice things. Or even eating a bowl of ramen. I like a bowl of ramen every once in a while. Shut up. I love it. Bruce has a huge line of drool. Ew, 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 don't come near me. Give me a napkin. Yeah, you're a little protector. Bruce, come here. Bruce, come here. Bruce, come here. God dang it, the napkin smells like McDonald's. You wanna say hi? Show them how clean you are. No, no licking the mic. He's a good boy. Yeah, yes, a good boy. Okay. Down. Bruce. Hey. Such a puppy. You're a doggy. Alright, Bruce, go to your spot. Bruce. Spot. Quit listening to them. You don't understand Spanish, okay? All right, so now it's like the next 30 minutes are really important, and the next 2-hour bar for the Q is very important. Same with the SPY, actually, too, by the way. SPY, the next 2-hour bar is very important. We'll pretty much see, most likely, in the next 2-hour bar if this thing's going to break through to the upside. Apple fading, Tesla fading, Amazon holding up better. NVIDIA not looking pretty yet. AMD starting to fade a little bit. Meta fading. Microsoft holding up a little bit better, but Google holding up a little bit better as well. Netflix fading, damn. Microsoft 2x or 3x levered. If I really look at Microsoft, I think the best way to answer something like that is just look at it where it is. Maybe zoom out to a weekly and be like, where could it go to? Like if we saw an actual drop that made sense, it could go. I would say it's if it doesn't hold up in this area and it maybe sees some kind of bounce in this area, I think it heads down to 338 pretty quick. And just look at the weekly divergence you're starting to make again. All right, now you have weekly, like pretty much triple divergence on the MACD. You have mainly here on the RSI. So right now is really to pay attention, and that's going to be bad. If that starts to confirm, we could go way down for a while. We could just do this for a little bit, turn back up. Yeah, maybe go make another point of divergence. But if that doesn't happen, this starts to roll over dramatically. You could just get some kind of dead cat and then go like that. I like the level of 338, first of all, for some kind of bigger bounce, especially if, like, I hope volatility comes back in the market because, like, that's where I make great money. Like, swing trading's fun for a while, but it starts to get really freaking boring. Like, this stuff is way more fun to trade in. You see the divergence down here. Boom, high or low here. You actually have divergence down here on the shorter time frames. Like, this was a great, great time to be alive. Like, all this was so good. Volatility not turning. Oh wait, I need this on a shorter time frame. My bad. They're working up there. Hopefully you guys hear them banging around. Good thing AMC and GME are definitely not connected. Oh, look at that, GME. Big breakout for GME. Very, very good. Nice. Wow, this actually might see a move today. Interesting. I mean, it already has 5%, nothing to joke around about there. AMC is still positive, still 2 hour positive, still good. This is what you want to see. Now you need to get that crazy gap up above 27. You really do. I mean, yeah, it can always happen, head and shoulders, but usually when you see some kind of bigger crash, like if you're talking about in the market at least, like if you see a bigger crash and you're going to see a daily scale, a lot of the time it's more like this, where you don't necessarily get good structure. It just starts to fall dramatically, and you see all these times where people try to catch the falling knife and then eventually it breaks. That's more so what tops look like for the indices here, for like the SPY and the Qs. So up here you would say, okay, well, this is what it would kind of look like if I could get a divergence or something like that, because back here you had some divergences, right? But you had a ton of them. That's why it was wonky. If you go back to like this high here, do you see a head and shoulders? Not necessarily. All I see is multiple point divergences. And then boom, finally that trigger happens. You close below these moving averages. You see you close below the 20. Then shortly after that, what happens? Well, downside, then back up, then downside. This is where I love volatility, man. This market was so good. You even got those bear market rallies. This bear market rally was so awesome, because you see such simple stuff. Like on the daily scale, what do you see? Divergences all along here, good scale ins for 2 month out positions, and then boom, finally on that last scale in right here, you just see upside, and that's just such a good rip right there. 5%. Pretty solid. I like that look. I love markets like that. But I wish the market was like that all the time, and it probably should be more like that all the time. It should be more like bigger swings, people taking profit, this and that, but we have market makers who just, you know, I think the quote that he said, I think it was Ken Griffin said, he's like, all I know is the end of the quote ended with this: so then we can put the prices of stocks where we think they are a fair value. I hate that statement so much. I hate that statement so much. I hate the statement, I think. Oh my God, I hate it so much, man. 2 hour looking good here. So this is where it's kind of make or break time. We'll see if this thing can go positive today. That would be a good sign. This is all a good sign, by the way, because you haven't seen this in a while. So you haven't seen this throughout all of this price action ever since here. You haven't seen really a solid structural bounce up And so now you're seeing it. And the cool part is, like, you reach down in this area where if you break through, it's pretty bad, and then you see that breakout. That's very, very cool. So what you really need to happen now is you just want to see, okay, make yourself feel good. Be like, oh, the 4 hour turned up. Now I can feel a little better. Oh, the daily turned up. Now I can feel really, really good, right? Once these higher momentums start to turn up, it's a very good thing. Tomorrow's data is the PCE, core PCE. Personal income, personal spending. So we'll see what happens with that. Looks like all these look like come down. Personal income goes up. Personal spending goes down. So this would all be, I think a lot of this would be if they came in at consensus or forecast. I think a lot of these actually would be seen as good news from the market. We'll see. NVIDIA, did you cross down on like an hourly yet? Not yet. I think an hourly divergence would be very likely. I think it would look good. Depends. I mean, like, I don't see necessarily reversal signals. If you're trying to say like, oh, we're in a pullback right now, this makes sense, but just know that the weekly range, yeah, we can go retest that. If you don't break below that, you can use it as support to head higher. So this could be limited. It's just a 30-minute pull back up. Now, if you're not going to see some kind of reversal signal here before getting the 2 hour to cross over, then you might see a 2 hour pull back, which could be more dramatic. You might need to go back into where you broke out from, somewhere near these highs up here is what I would say. So I would say once we get towards like a 188, 189 level, that's when the 2 hour might see that bounce back up. But, you know, are they safe here? I would say if you're thinking about, you know, downside plays in this position here, it is a better thinking, right? It's better thinking than seeing the dramatic drop like this one here and then trying to say, okay, this is going to head lower when it looks like it could curl up and go positive. So here you're thinking at the right time, yes. But the most I can tell you here, though, is right now all you're in is a 30-minute pullback. 28% on Tesla puts from this morning. There you go. GME is still pumping. Yeah, I think it's up 5.8. 5.8. That's pretty good. You still need to get above 27.79, but this is a good sign. A very good sign. So what you really just don't want to happen, you never want this 30-minute to cross back over. Look at this. Look at this. Look how it didn't cross back over. That's exactly what you want. You want this to just not keep, you just want this to keep going up. You do not want the 30-minute to roll over. What do you think, VWAP? VWAP's very, very good. VWAP's very, very good. I don't use VWAP. I'm not a day trader or anything like that. I don't use VWAP for most of my strategies. So I'm probably not the best person to ask about VWAP, but I do research them and I follow like the people that I would watch on YouTube. I watch probably like 1 or 2 stock videos a week, maybe YouTube videos, and I usually only watch like half of the video. But a lot of those people use VWAP, and I like to look at it and see if it correlates with what I'm doing with my trades. And a lot of the time it does, so that's very, very nice. Later, Lucas, thanks for your thoughts. Thanks, Christine. Yeah, Leanne, so I think they're good. It's just I'm probably not the best person. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to sit around and try to waste your time or anything like that. I don't use VWAPs, but I do like them. Like, I think they are helpful to a certain style of trading. Do I day trade? No, I do not. I just want to make sure that's very aware of that. Oh, we're starting to see some good upside here. What's AMC? AMC's seeing it too. There's some buying going on. Like, and also about the VWAPs, like it's kind of like a if I have a strategy that works for myself, do I necessarily want to add and create any more confusion? You know, do I need to really have something else to check a box? Am I just trying to add something that gives me a reason to force myself into a trade kind of thing? I'm like, no, I know that mine works. I know what I'm looking for, so I'm going to do that. And if I feel like, I'm a little nervous about a trade or something, maybe I will watch a YouTuber, see what they have when they use VWAPs, and they're like, oh yeah, this crossed over the VWAP, blah, blah, blah. Okay, awesome. Then I can be a little bit more reassured, which I think is what what I want a lot of people in the channel to to take away from like my videos. It's just more so I want you to learn and then come here for some reassurance. Like, am I looking at the right things? Like shit, like the does shorting Tesla make sense here? Well, from a risk to reward standpoint, yes. For the week, it does make sense here. But is it a good trade setup? Is it this? Is it that? You have to do all that kind of stuff on your own, which is why we just try to talk about momentum all the time. We're seeing some upside here, guys. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but we're seeing some upside here. Have we not been halted yet? Oh, 4 hour crossed up. Now we can feel pretty good. Now this could be a retest. Oh god, don't be a retest. Don't be a frickin' retest. I don't think they want, I really don't think they want AMC above $5. They definitely don't want it above 536, but I mean, my option is now up 90%. I did a GameStop option when I saw this. I saw this down here, and I saw the 30-minute divergence right here. So once this one completed, I kind of missed this one. So once this one completed, I actually took the position here. So I'm up almost, I'm up 90%. So what's going on with the Chipotles? That's not good. No, that's not good. It went down X%. No, it's a split, guys. It's a split. It's a okay, but yesterday the split data was not affecting it too much. So I don't know why this changed, but I can't really look at that yet. That's so weird. Like yesterday I was able to look at Chipotle and like the structure was there, right? They change all the data usually, or the data goes back, but I don't know, guys. Yeah, mine are usually short term. If I'm playing a volatility play and using an option, it's going to be very short term. Because usually I use a short term, like a leveraged ETF, very quickly. So usually if I'm doing a volatility play, it literally only lasts like 2 days. If I want to take a volatility play and like scale in and have it last longer, I'm just going to buy the 3x leverage. I'm not going to do an option position on it. GME is turning up. It's a good sign, but now you're running into, hey, this could possibly be a retest. Now you are breaking through this level. That's key. I'm not bearish on this whatsoever until this 30-minute would cross back over. Same with AMC. 30-minute crosses back over. Okay, I'll be a little bearish, but that hasn't happened yet. So we're just chilling. How much time in this 4-hour bar? 2 more hours in this 4-hour bar. You guys, it's a pretty dang good sign though. Pretty damn good. I wonder what happened with this guy. Did anything happen? Let me go look around. Three hours ago, GameStop stock can't catch a break as the meme fever fades. Stock go up. Oh god, it's cracking me up. All right, let's see what's going on over here. Really, nothing even trending at this point. Nobody talking about this price movement right now? Whoa, that's a wick down. They do not want that thing getting above $5. Yo, is no one talking about this shit at all? Yeah, no one's talking about this. Yeah, let me read more about Pride Month. No. No. $2 million in call volume just came in. Is that what overall happened? So did the put volume go down though? Like, did people sell out of put positions, short positions? That's pretty important too. I looked into that a little bit, Robert. I think the position size itself didn't really equal out because he's got what 60 million on the side or something like that. So I think the position sizes we were seeing were only like 100 grand to 200 grand. I highly doubt he would take a position size only that big if he was trying to cause something. Which, weirdly enough, you guys remember I said I wrote out like what my plan would be if I was Roaring Kitty, what my plan would be to just force the problem to come to light. Weirdly enough, if he would buy call options this or next week, it would go in line with what I was thinking because he already did step 2. So step 2 opens it up for July, and then step 3 would open it up for August, which would be next week. So if he buys call options next week, that would open up the door for August. But there you go. That is some positivity. My goodness. Good move. Good move. What about this one on the 4-hour? Ooh, not crossed up yet. But doesn't that look like a solid little reversal from 437? My goodness. GME, we didn't really give that line, but looks good. We still got to confirm some stuff. Looks good. Here, let's make ourselves feel better. I bet the 3-hour crossed up. Oh yeah, see, just a little bit higher time frame, 3-hour. You know. No. So yeah, that's still the main thing to pay attention to, guys, is always a 30-minute. I know I just clicked around like a million times, but if the 30-minute rolls down, that's not the best sign, okay? But it is rolled up. I don't want to get negativity in your head, right? I don't want to get any negativity in your head. I just want to be like, hey, this is positive in positive territory. If it rolls down, we should expect downward pressure. But looks good for now. There you go. GME going to the upside there. 7.5%. Seeing some selling come in. AMC, I think they do not want to close this thing above $5. But maybe they won't have a choice if this buying keeps coming in. Ain't that right, Josh? Wish I bought even more. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, but you just want to know you're with something like this. If the problem comes to light and it actually does make the big move, like you're gonna make plenty. There's no reason to risk a ton. Yeppers. You guys are funny sometimes. Looks good though. It really does. Like I can't lie. Now you want to see what's happening on the opposite side of the spectrum. Ooh, NVIDIA's trying to hold up. Tesla, hey, it's just saying pullback right now. Apple, hey, it's just saying pullback right now. And actually, it's using that weekly expected move. So Apple, let me see that guy real quick. Apple's trying to, it looks like, Apple is trying to use the weekly expected move, and we're kind of seeing a little bit of, I would say like a wonky flag, but you do have Apple with a 15-minute down by the weekly expected move upside, which means we can use it as support to head higher. You're right below it right now. You're literally right below it right now. So if you're going to see this turn up, that's when something crazy can happen, okay? Tesla, same thing, right? We want to see if that goes down to the weekly expected move. Tesla's weekly expected move is a lot lower, though. Tesla's weekly expected move a lot lower. It's down near this little bundle right here. So, but those are levels to pay attention to. Amazon pulling down as well. So pulling down just a little bit here. We'll see what happens with that. Going back over to GME, now only up 5%, and we do have a little 15-minute divergence here. So watch out, the selling could come back in. But you just have to see if this 30 minutes able to cross. Right now you do have 15-minute divergence, just so you're aware. You do have it. AMC, you don't. You don't have it on AMC, but you do on GME, which is a sign that we use. It's a signal we use. Now, it's not outside of a weekly expected move, so we definitely could be expected to go higher. 27.79 is as high as they expect us to go. So if this never confirms, great. If it confirms, turns right back up, okay, great. But as it does confirm, we have to just watch a 30-minute. If the 30-minute crosses over, it's saying pullback, guys. It's saying pullback. It's a great move. I want it to go up. I do, but I have to try to stay as unbiased as possible and just sit here and go, hey, this is great. Is this convincing me to sell anything? Is this convincing me to get rid of anything? No, it is not. No, it is not, because this hasn't curled over yet. So. Unusual whale. Let's go over to unusual whales. Wow, they banned independent coverage, so even if we wanted to watch the debate together, we can't. GME call premiums just went straight vertical. Damn. Alrighty. All right, what are you guys looking at? TSC. That Thai steel. Am I typing this right? Okay, there we go. No, I don't trade any of this. I have to go look because I've traded a bunch of different stuff. I have to go look, but yeah, I don't think I've traded that ever. AM Sizzle going back down, going back down. Has it crossed over on a 30-minute? No. Has this crossed over on a 30-minute? No. So am I worried in any way? Hey, SMCI 2-hour, is that going to curl up positive territory? We'll see. Maybe NVIDIA, maybe not NVIDIA. What are you doing on an hourly chart here? Still need that to cross over. So this is more a scenario where you're like, I'm not playing this. I'm more so waiting for something like this to form, right? That's more so what I'm looking for to form. I think that would be a great look. Yeah, AMD is just wonky forever, man. It won't even curl up on this hourly. The 30-minute curls up. Hey, it's negative territory. Then it just curls right back down. Okay, we could have divergence, but that's not at a weekly move. So am I even looking at AMD, to be honest, right now? No, I'm just not. I'm just not. I just don't think it is. I don't think it's like worth it at this point to really be focusing on something like this. Now, it could change a lot, so if that changes in the next few days, we'll talk about it. 546 today. I mean, anything's possible. Do I think it can? Yeah. If you ever ask me if I think it can happen, I'm always going to say yeah, right? But the difference here is how, or why would it do that? Because the probability right now of it doing that is kind of low. That's the best way to put it, Mark. Right? Anything's possible with any stock at any moment. There's a possibility that the SPY goes to $2,000 today. What's the probability of that happening? Very, very effing low, right? Very, very effing low. So what do we notice here? Okay, well, if this is going to pull back on the 15-minute, awesome. So you're looking for a way for the stock to say, hey, I'm going back up to 546. Right now, it would say, hey, that's coming down. So this would say 15-minute pullback is the most likely scenario here. And then if that curled back up, you'd have a chance for that to then go higher. Maybe you just need these moving averages to go like this, and then you see some closing like that, and then you have that price action. But right now, it's just saying 15-minute pullback. Okay, and then we'll go over to the we'll go back over to GME and AMC in just a moment here. So let's do it. Let's just look at the 30-minute because that looks like, okay, yeah, it did. Okay, so there you go. 30-minute solid divergence here. First of all, solid little divergence. Great divergence. I need a weekly range. I need all kinds of stuff, right, in order to see this. Because if this is outside of a weekly range, this is something I would really pay attention to, right? So if I had a weekly range for this and say the range is like right here, holy crap, I would be like, this is a great trade setup right here for some kind of bounce. Now we're retesting that level again. If I see that turn back up, boom, great little trade. So 15-minute curls down. Hey, if that curls down, gives me another point of divergence, hey, we can pay attention to that, see if that wants to curl back up. That'd be great. But overall, with the 30-minute here, you want to see this divergence, see if the 2 hour is able to curl up, and then that would be an overall, hey, this is going to be a good trade, right? So we see the divergence down here. If we say took an early position, see it curl back down, take a second one. Okay, 2 hour confirms, goes positive. Hey, a good move can come. Maybe we come fill that gap, but you could just come and fill this one, right? So 2 hour curls up, it looks good, but you're getting confirmation on this 30-minute, but you're starting to rotate over again. So I'd really look for maybe some kind of small move like that, and I would hope to have a weekly range, right? So if I had a weekly range, I could talk more about it, but really you're just seeing 30-minute divergence that could lead to a bounce. Yeah, Mark, I'm glad that was helpful. I just think it's like, you know, could it go up? Well, if the 15-minute momentum is heading down, it's very difficult for a stock to go up when momentum is down, right? It's kind of like if a momentum of a rock is slowly pushing towards like down a hill and you're trying to hold it up, it could just slowly push you down, right? So you want to more so figure out like when is the rock going to hit the bottom and get that momentum to shift up with that strength coming down. That's more so what I would say. It's like when is, like if you imagine the rock sliding down the hill, well, when's the next ramp up, right? When's it going to go off of, if we said it had some kind of, let's say, launch pad like this, and you have a rock and it goes, woo, you want to see it come to this area right here, right as it's launching, right as it crosses and launches up, that's when you go into the trade, right? That's the overall statement with momentum. So you're looking for this to be the rock. It fights, and then once it hits that ramp, boom, momentum triggers it. Okay, upward move possible. And that's right here on the MACD as well. Good little ramp up. Okay, I'm gonna go upstairs and let me check on this carpet real quick. Let me go check on this carpet real quick. I'll be right back. Make sure to like the video while I'm gone, guys. While I'm gone. Okay. Don't, guys, we're back. Guys, we're back. What's up, Frank? Oh, Frank, you asked about Clean Spark or whatever it is. Yeah. You are welcome. We're back. And let's see, this is why you don't want to like necessarily just jump into anything, right? Look at the SPY now mark. So you see how that momentum shifting down has happened? Ooh, now this could build back up at any time, right? We could see flagging, we could see anything like that. But right now, this signal here telling you 15-minute pullback. Qs, 15-minute pullback. Nothing crazy yet. So now across the board, we're probably going to see what? Things start to come back in their ranges. Maybe this one tries to. Maybe Amazon even tries to. Look at the divergence on Amazon, 15-minute outside of the range. Very cool setup right there. We might have to mute and just look at stocks, so we'll pay attention to the drawings. All right, GME hasn't curled over yet. There's a piece of broken wood under the floor or something, so they got to replace that. So they're drilling in a little bit there. Do you guys like my mime skills? GameStop won't stop? Well, it stopped for a second, but as long as the 30-minute doesn't curl over, I think you know you're pretty safe for AMC. GameStop, 30-minute doesn't curl over. The problem with GameStop a little bit here is 15-minute divergence. You just see it on the MACD, you see it on the RSI at the same time. That would say momentum to the upside is slowing, but it is on a 15-minute chart. This could easily just base out and go like this. That's why I think the main thing is if the 30-minute doesn't cross over, still positive in positive territory. I researched these thoroughly. If the 30-minute crosses over, it usually means it's not the moment. That's what it looked like in the past. Because the last time the moment happened, the 30-minute went up and it never crossed back down until it went to like over $100, over $200. Oof. NVIDIA just keeps trying to hold up at our zone, though. Freaking NVIDIA, what are you doing? God. God. Tina, come here, dinner. Here at Money Making Market, we're better than you. And we know it. No, that's fucked up. We're not better than you. I'm sorry about that. That was just me trying to be funny. It never works out. It never works out. Man, maybe I did deserve to get bullied in school, you know? What's the other one I like to do for that movie? Oh, Gar. That guy. What's his name? Steve the Pirate. He goes, I'll be on the Star Master. Chipotle, yeah, I know. It's just, what is it, CMG, something like that. The reason that it's wonky, I don't get why this happened today. But maybe it's just the chart I was looking at there. Okay, maybe it's just the shorter time frames have a problem right now. Maybe I needed to adjust, I don't know in any way. What I would say about Chipotle is you have daily divergence that's confirming right now. Daily divergence confirming right now. Okay, you see that very, very steep here. You have multiple divergences down on the RSI, all here. You see them all. They're all right there. You got one here, 2, 3, and like this one here, you'd say that's a steep one now to set up you going into negative territory. Now, if that's not going to happen, you're going to see that 2-hour rotate up. We can get 2-hour bounces. Makes sense. Let me see if it stays. Yeah, see, it's not letting me look into it, but on the daily scale, this is all you need really to say, hey, the most likely thing here is pullback for now. And we have a lot of space to go down if we wanted to maybe go to a 200 or something like that. But for now, you could say, hey, this has potential to go into a negative trend for Chipotle here. That's not a good sign. So what I'd like to look at, if it's going to stay normal here, is a weekly scale. Look at that. So you could be in a weekly pullback for a while. We could head down to this 20. We could head down all the way to this 50. All right? It looks like you're in a weekly pullback, so I'd be paying attention to that because of the daily divergences. I wish I could look at those shorter time frames. Now this one here was the 15-minute pullback, right? So now you just want to see if that 15-minute rotates back up. That'd be a good sign. And I'd even probably say if this 5-minute rotates up, you probably go to 546 for sure, but I just want to pay attention to the 15. We're still in that pullback zone. Q's still pulling back. Everything's kind of pulling back right now. Amazon, that divergence there, that can lead to a little bit more. Yeah, Tony, I'm waiting on Chipotle as much as possible there, but you see the daily divergence. Like that still holds pretty true. It would tell you probably over the next 2 months there is some downside potential. You know, I'd say over the next month, but you could see like the problem with that is the shorter time frames, you don't see if there's like a rigged move up, so you get like the right position or you know your timing's off. It's hard to manage the trade, so very, very difficult around that. Tesla really starting to come down. Is it going to curl on the 30? Yeah, 30-minute pullback for Tesla. Apple, 30-minute pullback for Apple. Amazon hasn't crossed yet, but we know that divergence is there. Amazon is trading outside of that zone too, guys. There are setups out there. See if I want to take like a month out position. And that's the type of signal right there. I'm going to be patient just a little bit here, maybe do something small. All right. Can NVIDIA jump today? It can. It can jump at any time. But is it going to jump today? Does it look like the signals are proving that? Well, the 15-minute is currently turning down, so no bounce even on the shortest time frame. 30-minute here turning down, so going negative, not looking too likely at this point. The 2-hour curled up and curled right back down. So pretty much every single time frame is telling you downside is the most likely scenario from here. But it wouldn't say, hey, the hourly could turn back up, right? I'm going to draw something for you. This is what I'm more so looking for from NVIDIA. All right, guys, I might just leave you like this. I know sorry it's sudden, but we're getting the carpet and they're having to replace some wood, so it's very loud. It's hard to do anything. But I might go live a little bit later. If we keep seeing GME and AMC popping off, I'll go live again later today, but I definitely will give you guys that YouTube video. I'm sorry I have to just like exit. I'm going to leave it here for you guys. If you want to hang out and watch for a little bit, just say in the chat right now. Would you rather do SPY, GME, AMC? What do you guys want to look at for now? And I'll pull that chart up, and then I'm just gonna go. I can't really focus with them drilling every 2 seconds, so I might hop on a little bit later. But make sure to like the stream if you're gonna head out, or if you want to hang out for a little bit, I'll leave the stream up. All right, guys, I'm hopping off, but I might be live a little bit later today, or at least you'll get a YouTube video tonight. I'm going to break down all these stocks in a YouTube video for you later tonight. But make sure to have those notifications on, because I might go live at the end of the day if something crazy keeps happening with GME and AMC. So thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. I'll get to your stock, Rivian and stuff like that. We can look at Rivian and stuff later today. We actually did break down Rivian a little bit. Overall, you just want to maybe zoom back out and find it, but I really appreciate it, guys. I'm sorry to have some mayhem happening today, but it's just too noisy here for me to like think straight. And I want to help you guys as much as possible. So get those notifications on, like the video, and hang out here if you want. You guys can chat back and forth all you want. You guys can sit here and chat all you guys want. It's not a big deal to me. I can leave it for a little bit. And Peace of No, thank you so much for subscribing. Mark, thank you so much for subscribing. Really appreciate it. And then I might be live. Maybe usually I do it towards the last hour of the day. Okay, so an hour before close if I'm going to go live, and then we'll talk about all these things later, and we can even talk about Rivian if you'd like, Alicia. So I'll be right back in maybe a few hours, or if nothing crazy happens, then you'll see me on YouTube later tonight. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys. Have a good day.